Welcome everyone on the channel Brief Joe, and today I will tell you the plot of a film called Spider-Man No Way Home. Let's go. After Mysterio uncovered that Spider-Man is Peter Parker, he gets arrested by police for killing Quentin Beck. But Spider-Man's lawyer is Matt Murdock, and Spider-Man charges are dropped. But his reputation went down. Normal people and journalists stalk him. To be more safe, they moved to Happy's house, who broke up with May. Peter, MJ and Ned want to get in a university in Boston, but they get rejected everywhere. Then Spider-Man decides to visit Stephen Strange, so he can go back in the past and don't let Mysterio uncover his identity. But he can't do that without a time stone. Strange remembers about a special spell and decides to use it so everyone forgets Spider-Man's identity. They go down in the temple and he starts casting the spell. He tells so everyone forgets about Peter's secret, but he asks so his girl, friend and grandmother still remember everything, repeatedly interfering the spell. Peter breaks it and it breaks the multiverse, but they don't understand that. Knowing that Parker didn't try calling the college and tried to talk, he kicks him out of the house. Peter decides to talk with the rector and comes to her car that was driving to an airport, but Dr. Octopus appears and attacks Spider-Man. The car with rector falls off a bridge, but Peter catches it with his webs. Octopus finds out that he is not Peter Parker, then gets a nanotechnology from Spider-Man's costume, and Peter controls his tentacles. Using them, he brings the car back on the road. Rector thanks Peter, promising to talk with the commission about him and his friends. Green Goblin appears on the road, exploding the cars using his bombs. But Spider-Man teleports back in the temple. Strange tells that because of the corrupted spell, all the people who knew Spider-Man's identity come to this universe. He already caught Pangolin. Using his friends, Peter must catch other villains. He comes to the military base where Goblin was last seen, but he sees Electro on the way, and Sandman helps Spider-Man. He weakened Max Dillon and teleported him to the temple using Strange's magic. Flint Marko gets mad about it, and he gets teleported too. Norman doesn't want to be Green Goblin and hides his glider and breaks his mask. While villains talk with each other, May tells that a quest came to her. Peter comes back home but sees that Osborn needs help. He wants to send everyone to their universes, but she asks to fix those unfortunate people. Parker and Osborn come to the temple, but Strange immediately locks Osborn in a cage and wants to send everyone back to their universe, to their certain deaths which will be their fate. Peter doesn't want that to happen and steals the magic cube from Strange and runs. He chases him and teleports in a mirror dimension. By using geometric knowledge, Spider catches Strange and goes back to the villains. He wants to help them, but not everyone wants to be normal. Pangolin stays in the car and brings everyone in the house. Using technologies in this universe, Parker and Osborn makes a tool to remove chip from Dr. Octopus that merged with his spine. That works, and now Octavius controls his tentacles by himself, not themselves. Then Electro's abilities gets drained, and during that Parker is working on an anti-serum for Goblin. Peter feels danger and asks May to leave. Norman's evil side awakens, and he gives a speech about superpowers that affect Dillon, and he decides to save them. A fight starts. During the fight, Octavius is thrown through a window and Pangolin escapes the car. Looking around, J. Jonah Jameson sees all of these actions. Spider-Man and Goblin fall to the lower floors, and the villain wants to kill May, thinking that she is the cause of Peter's weakness, and too high morality he throws a bomb at her, but Spider-Man catches it to defend her. But she's still feeling very bad and dies on Peter's eyes, telling that he still did the right thing to help the villains. My last words were about strength and responsibilities, and then silence. Happy comes and orders to run from the police. Jameson tells about everything in the news. MJ and Ned want to find Peter to support him. Telling about that wish, Ned somehow starts to open a portal. MJ tells him to continue and Ned breaks a hole where they see Spider-Man. They ask him to come and he comes, but from another universe. MJ doesn't believe and asks to prove his Spider-Man abilities. After that, Ned opens a portal again to find Peter and another Spider-Man from another universe who just came in this world comes. They decide to find and help Peter here. MJ thinks of where he can be and they come there. They condole Peter, but he wants to bring the villains back to their universe because the villains killed his aunt. Then other spiders tells about their loss and remind about power and responsibilities that Ben told about. They think that May's death wasn't a mistake and Peter had to hear those words. Then he agrees to fix villains. The heroes come to the laboratory and works on serums to remove villains' superpowers. After that, Spider-Man uses Daily Bugle that he waits for villains near the Statue of Liberty with Magic Cube. Spider-Man talk with each other, spending good time together. When villains come, a fight starts where heroes mess with each other. Taking a time out, they discuss and decide to act together. Peter of this universe is Spider-1. Peter from Goblin's universe, Octopus and Sandman is Peter 2, and the last Spider-Man is 3. MJ hides the cube in the laboratory, but Ned can't lose the portal. They decide to beat Flint Mark first, and they succeed. He only wanted to go back to his daughter and stayed waiting for that moment. Then the spiders beat Electro when Octavius comes to help them. Pangolin sees an opened portal and runs in the laboratory. After a lap, Ned and MJ come to the battlefield. The spiders beat Connors, turning him into a human. Suddenly, Goblin comes and attacks the spiders. He blows up the structure of the statue and MJ falls. Peter tries to catch her, but Goblin prevents that. Spider-3 catches MJ, who couldn't save his love in the same situation. Strange comes back from a mirror dimension and he is amazed that Peter's plan worked and Ned became a mage. Spider-1 and Goblin fight near the coast, and the villain provocates him, reminding of May's death. He brutally beats him and wants to end him with his glider, but Spider-2 doesn't let him do that. Goblin stabs his saver's back, and then Spider-3 throws Spider-1 a serum that he injects in Osborn, making him normal again. The multiverse breaks and everyone else who knew Parker's secret come from it. And then Peter decides to come back to the first original spell, asking Strange to use it to fix the space cracks. Parker says goodbye to spiders from other universes. Spider-2 survives after Goblin's hit. Then Spider-1 talks with his friend and tells that they will forget Peter, but promises to find them and make them remember him. Strange ends the spell, stabilizing the universe, and everyone forgets Peter's secret. After a month, he visits May's grave, meeting Happy, who doesn't recognize him. After a talk with him, he comes to cafe where MJ works, but seeing that his friends live better without him, he decides to stay silent about everything. He buys a flat and continues fighting criminals. In a scene after credits, Eddie Brock, who came with Venom from another universe, talks with Bartender, who tells him about things in this universe, and decides to come to New York to find Spider-Man. But he couldn't leave the bar before he got pulled in his reality. But a piece of him stayed there and started to crawl away. This is the end. If you want to see more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and write a comment. See you soon. Don't get sick.